do you eat cornbread stuffing at Thanksgiving? Is it moist and delicious, or is it dry and bland? And you're trying to sneak it in a napkin at the dinner table. Me as a cook, of 10 years of restaurant experience and 40 years of personal experience with cooking, I give this recipe my stamp of approval. How many of you answered yes to the last 3 questions? If so, after this demonstration speech, your Thanksgiving stuffing will never be the same. Cornbread stuffing is traditionally used during the holidays. Some people stuff it inside of the turkey. Some people make it as a side dish. In order to discover the origins of Thanksgiving, I will have to explain 5 different things to you. The origin of Thanksgiving, my family history, the utensils you'll be needing, the ingredients, and how to combine them all. The history, American history of Thanksgiving. The Indians were vital to the Pilgrims' survival of the first winter. George Washington declared November 16th, 1789 as a National Day of Thanks. And during this time, that's where foods were scarce and the revolution was going on, and they just gave God thanks for what they had. And Franklin D. Roosevelt made the final addition to Thanksgiving. He changed Thanksgiving to the 4th week in November, that being the final adjustment to Thanksgiving. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little bit about my family history. My grandparents were sharecroppers. My grandfather and grandmother, Ed Hudson, Orena Hudson, they worked and made $3.50 a day, but this included their shelter. So it was in that tiny wooden home on a wood-burning stove that this recipe was created. Okay? Now you're gonna need the ingredients. Okay, we have our oil and the chicken broth, celery, onions, cream of chicken, and I have the stovetop stuffing breadcrumbs because you can't find the other ones until the traditional holidays because they don't have them out all the time. So I had to replace that with these. And here's the tools. I have a spatula and a spoon, the potato masher, and a big dish. You're going to need a big dish for your pan. And this is the baking pan. Okay, you need to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 to 400 degrees. Okay, now we're going to combine all these ingredients. You want it to be as moist as possible. Being that I already preheated it, I'm just going to leave the cream of chicken, and you combine all your ingredients. I've already took the liberty to cut up the onions and the bell peppers, so they're already combined in here. So you mix it real good. You want to make sure it's real moist. If you run out of, you can use chicken broth, or if you want to give it that extra flavor, you can use some broiled chicken. I cooked pork chops today, so I just used the pork chop juice broth, and I put it on there. And if those of you that don't want to use chicken broth or meat broth, you can always just use the cream of chicken. And you can add water to it to give it flavor. And if it doesn't have enough seasoning taste, you can already add salt and pepper to your taste. Okay? Now this is the final result. Doesn't that look delicious? After this demonstration speech, your Thanksgiving will never be the same. Okay? Now, if you want to use this recipe this Thanksgiving, if you want your cornbread stuffing to pop. Okay. Well, If you want to be the conversation during Thanksgiving dinner or after the Thanksgiving dinner, use this recipe this Thanksgiving.